Golfers, let's talk about chipping. Chipping by definition is simple. It's a ball that rolls more than it flies. So in this situation, I'm in front of the green. I've got a pin toward the back third of the green. And at the golf school, I always say putt when you can putt. Well, for this little video, I'm going to talk about chipping, but this is closely mown. You could hit this with a putter. Now, if your preference is chipping, let's talk about how we are going to use your educator to help you develop a very reliable face to the ball relationship so you can get decent speed and great line. Now, when I set this on for chipping, I put it in a very neutral condition so the educator is pretty much matching vertically the grooves on the face. So important to do that. We do not really want a situation where we have the educator in a ball striking position for a lot of forward lean. We want to have a pretty neutral position with the educator, so vertical. I've got it in the black and black hash marks on the educator, 90-degree position, tightening it down gently so it's fairly snug. So everything's snug. Now, when I hit these little chip shots, you're going to notice I've got a target line and a ball line illustrating for this video that this club face has a rate of rotation. The face is pointed at the target, but as I move the golf club, now the face is gently pointing over away from me, back toward the target, and then behind me. So this little rate of rotation is important. Oftentimes people that struggle, they have wide stance, ball back, and then they try to make the face go straight back and straight through. That's the hardest thing to do, and reason why people have unreliable ball speed and get nervous when they chip or hit pitch shots. So keys to this: narrow stance, golf ball sort of in the middle of that narrow stance. You really can't go wrong if you have a narrow stance and the ball in the middle. Now here's a motion where I'm going to choose a speed to let the club collide with the ball and let the ball respond. So if I hit this closely, that'd be lovely. Let's let the ball respond, weights a little forward, mild forward shaft lean, mild descending strike, rate of rotation, let the ball respond and let it roll. And that's a decent chip right there. I can make that putt. So what I want you to recognize is you develop your skills chipping, that we don't have to have excessive forward lean. What's great about the educator is once you have it in place, forward leaning the shaft excessively doesn't feel correct. So there's a nice looking place with which to swing the club with decent rate of rotation so you can have a clean strike and not get fidgety over these shots, because so many people are apprehensive and nervous hitting chip shots because their fundamentals are poor, and when if they don't even know they're poor, they struggle. So narrow stance, weight bias a little forward, fractional forward lean, and what you're trying to work on is this sense of a little bit of swing, gentle rate of closure that has this closing sensation to and through a golf ball. Let's hit another little chip shot, maybe just a little harder, a little bit more swing that gathers the ball. So there's another one. It's just inside the previous. Quite a nice little chip, and that's a long chip. That's a 70-footer. So golfers, big deal here, learning how to rhythmically swing this lead arm in conjunction with the body. This is a kind of a top-down motion where we feel as though we're letting this face have rate of rotation, collect the golf ball. Let's hit another shot. Some of the things I see people do wrong: open stance, ball back, too much shaft lean that's going to hit down too much to where they flinch and have to stand up. So this angle of attack, think about this. 1 minute on a clock is 6 degrees. I'm probably hitting down on this a minute and a half, maybe 9 degrees. So not much, but there is descent into the back of the ball, then touching the grass. But the key to this too, watch my chest keep turning into this finishing form, allowing this club to have its rate of rotation. You can do these just simply left-handed if you want to. Take the educator, gently push it up against your lead forearm. I like to put my right hand on my chest. Here's this rate of rotation. Let the ball get gathered up. Mild miss hit. It takes practice, and I want you to put in some practice. When you can do that one-handed, imagine how confident you'll be with two. So lead hand, holding the educator gently on the forearm, a little rate of rotation. Ball gets gathered up in that rotation, and you'll notice how straight the golf ball came off by not trying to hit it straight. That's the key. You set up for success with a golf ball in the middle of a narrow stance, weight bias left, and then when you have two hands on there, just gets so much easier. Gently push that educator toward that lead arm. Find your radius. Notice how I'm not setting up too close to the ground, something I have to manage subconsciously. And then from here, again, rate of rotation. Choose the energy that's going to inspire the ball to move. Let that chest keep rotating. And there's a lovely chip shot that's nestling up close for a tap in. So whether these are 70 footers or barely onto the green, little chip shot that rolls, say 20 feet or so, the same little sensation, rate of rotation, commitment with our pivot, those are effective shots that with the certainty the educator gives you, you are going to do fantastic letting the ball get in the way of the club as it was designed to move.